Please sit in any comfortable posture with your hands on your knees in Jnana or Chin Mudra. The head, neck, shoulders, back, all in a straight line. Eyes and mouth gently closed. Become aware of the whole body from the top of your head to your toes. Shift your awareness from the body to your breath and become aware of the natural, spontaneous breathing process. Shift your awareness once again. Bring it to the eyebrow center, Bhru Madhya. And at the Bhru Madhya, try to visualize the form of your Guru or your Ishtadevata or a psychic symbol if you have one or a candle flame. And maintaining awareness on this image at the eyebrow center, we shall chant the mantra Om 3 times together. Taking in a deep breath. Together. Om Sahana Vavato Sahanau Bhunakto Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Hari Om Tat Sat. Rubbing the palms against each other gently. Generate some warmth. And then place the palms on the closed eyes. Experience the warmth radiating from the palms to the eyes. And then, when comfortable, move the palms away. Open the eyes. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namo Narayan. And a very warm welcome to all the participants. Today is our concluding and final day of Nadanusandhan. And to begin, I would like to request Arunji to give a small presentation on an instrumental piece which he has chosen for us. Since this is Nad Anusandhan, so therefore I thought it is most appropriate that we begin our conclusion with Nad Anusandhan. So, Arunji, 1 minute, let me see if
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just trying to locate you on the list so that I can add you as the Zoom on the spotlight. Just a minute. Let's see. Maybe I'll go this way.
I added spotlight for him.
You have added spotlight. Great.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Namaste, everybody.
The sound is still low a little bit. I don't know if you can come a little bit forward or.
Let me get it closer.
नंतर फार जास्त होईल ते आवाज.
नाही नाही तुम्ही मागे सरका बघ just bear it. आणि you should go little bit that side so you will be in center. थोडं तुमचं
Yeah,
That's better.
You're not centralized.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Namaste. I wanted to thank Swamiji for letting me introduce this program. It is just very nice of him to give me a chance to say that why don't you start the program. It's very nice. Music has been a passion for me all my life. It was not my career. I was an engineer. I did so many other things in life. But the music was always in the background and I continued it. I was blessed with two nice gurus. One was in Pune, Mr. Bhaskar Chandavarkar. He was a music director, Ravi Shankar student. When I came to America, I had no teacher for a while. Somehow, God sent me Pandit Vijay Raghav. He was within an hour and a half drive from my house.
Oh.
So I went to him and requested whether he would teach me. And somehow we clicked, and I was able to get lessons from him for about 10 years. That was a God-sent gift, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Before I came to America, I was in Germany stationed for 3.5 years. So I used to work with Kirloskar, those who know. And then there was no Indian music in Germany that time. So I took some Western music. That is why I hold the violin like Westerners, and I learned that. And I've been continuing this. I'm not a big professional artist, but an amateur, sincere with music. When Guruji mentioned about Nada Yoga, I was curious to see how the Nada connects with the yoga. And that is the reason I'm trying to understand. I still have to figure out these, the Sare Gama Padanisa, how they link up with the yoga. And I hope I will be able to understand.
That will come. That will come in the later sessions. This was just an introductory session for Nad Yoga. And
Yeah.
As we progress ahead, eventually we will come to that.
There is one thing I have noticed without doing all this yoga. When I used to work and put a full day work at 9:30, if I'm tired in the evening, I would go in the basement and start the music. Within 1 hour, the energy level would go so high. At 11 o'clock, I was not ready to go to bed. And that is definitely power in that music. And I enjoy it. And I've been doing it for a long time. And I give you a small piece of Rag Jai Jaivanti. It's played in two styles. One is the Khamai style. That's what I'm going to play. Some people play that in Bhageshri style also. All the notes are there. There are two Gandhars and two Nishads in it. It's a very pleasant evening raga. Actually, the raga timing is good for America. For India, it's not a 6:30 morning raga. I would have played some Bhairava or something in the morning. But I'm going by the American time. And followed by little alap, I'm going to do a small bhajan. Hope you enjoy it and thank you very much.
I will request everybody to close their eyes when the music starts and just feel the music in the heart. That will take you deeper.
Say, I'm losing some control today, sorry. Namaste.
Namaste. Beautiful. Thumaka Chalata Ramachandra.
Sabni,
Yes.
Srikanth,
Very
you have
nice.
to understand, I'm joined breathing mainly because at my age, I'm 81, the breathing becomes a little bit issue sometimes,
Yes.
especially I'm playing somebody in front of you.
Yeah.
So the breathing improves, then these mistakes won't happen.
नहीं, लेकिन
It was beautiful.
yes, it was so soul stirring. You know, that is the beauty. You said you do not know how yoga is connected with music, but let me tell you, the first definition of yoga in Raj Yoga Sutras is yogaha chitta vritti nirodhaha. You block the the taranga which are taking place in the mind, and music in itself is so divine that it just changes everything.
Yes, yes, it does.
You know, you don't really need to know anything. You just need to listen, and you look at. I mean, there are so many researches now that even plants, they are affected. Humans are, everybody is affected. It has an effect. You are speaking about it is a raga in the evening. It is a raga in the morning. Is rag mein karuna ras hai. Us rag mein, what is this karuna ras? Where does it come from? What is raudra ras? Where does it come from?
Come from the feeling.
It comes from your neurotransmitters. It comes from your endocrine organs. Your music is able to, play that music. That inner orchestra begins. And that is why that bhav comes up. And yoga is, when you combine these together, then you are able to go deeper and you are able to get into control of all these activities. That is Nath Yoga. What we have done is just a beginning. Oh, we are just getting our feet wet, so to say.
That's right. That's correct.
Ha, itna anand ho gaya. Somebody even mentioned you had played Tumaka Chalata Ramachandra, right?
Yes, yes.
Ah, beautiful. मतलब क्या बोले, it was so touching, so touching. इसमें एकदम. And I feel this is what is very, very essential. You have really brought out a very important point. What is this music and what is this nada? We know that we have all experienced it just now. Like when you were playing, ऐसे लगा कि we were in a different space altogether. You have told your experience that when you start playing music, after 1 hour, all the tiredness goes away and you are full of energy.
That is true.
For music lovers, it's just so beautiful, it's nice. But for science lovers, you should understand that there is something happening in here. The neurotransmitters are changing. And that is what medicine, actually healing, is all about. When you can consciously and in a specific manner bring these two energies together in a synchronized manner, that is Nad Yoga. So, thank you very much, Arunji, for really this out.
Sorry for the goof ups, but it's okay.
No. There is no goof up. You see, that is the beauty of it. I mean, the mood did not shift even a little bit. If you are looking at, I was speaking with somebody, I was at one music recital with, I forget the name, it was sitar. And they had said at that time that the swar, they are like the grammar of music. But there is something beyond the grammar, the soul. And we have here in yoga to try and touch that soul of music. So, thoda sa yahan break ho gaya, wahan break ho gaya is not a problem at all. You go deeper and deeper and deeper within. That is the
emotion.
Yes.
The emotion comes into the music, so that makes a difference.
And emotion is one level, but beyond emotion, when you start transcending the mind, all these stories which we were speaking about, that Sheilaji mentioned from South, we had that maestro who brought it. Then we had another, we have Hanuman, we have so many stories. What do they indicate? That there is some deeper connection with the cosmos. And music and nada is able to harness that. That is what is Nada Yoga. What we have done is, matlab, just the beginning of it. जब तक हम लोग, I mean, how many years did it take for you to come to this level?
I have been, my father would not let me take lessons because he knew I was crazy. He said, first you become engineer, start earning your bread, and then whatever you do. So I started learning very late, almost 23 years when I was age, when I started my job. Then I told my father that I am now earning, I'm an engineer, so I'm going to go after music. So it was late, but I have been doing it since my
So
age.
50 years almost.
And regardless what job I did, the violin was always with me, always. Even
So
when
it
I
is
was
about
in
50
jail.
years of riyaz, 50 years
Yeah,
of riyaz, right?
yes.
So that is something which is essential. सब लोगों के लिए ये बतला रहे हैं कि जब तक रियाज नहीं होता है, साधना नहीं होती है, तब तक फायदा नहीं होगा. Just knowing that okay, this is how we can do it, no, that's not going to be enough. हाँ, intellectually enough है, but अंदर से changes नहीं होंगे. If we want that, we need to take that time every day, 15 minutes. Arunji has been very kind and he has
Every day I'm going to have 2 hours.
huh?
Every day he plays hour or 2 hours.
देखिए वो तो बहुत हो गया.
हाँ लेकिन वो नहीं बचा
हर
है.
दिन 15 मिनट. Because you see the difficulty is not doing long. The difficulty is doing means long in one shot. To do it over and over and over again. That is the difficult part. It is not easy. लोगों को लगता है 5 मिनट ही है ना, आराम से हो जाएगा. But try doing it every day at that time, no matter what. Doesn't happen. Initially, you will say that, oh no, because the milkman had came, oh no, because I had this job, I had that job, I had that job. But later on, you will realize that is nothing but the deviousness of the mind. And we are actually working on the mind. This brings out the mental permutations and combinations, and our effort is not to sway here and there, but keep straight. We start small, work at it, work at it, work at it. And when that small becomes perfect, you will see without an effort, you can just jump up ahead. And you know that growth happens automatically. You don't have to. Like in
I used to be in sales, so a lot of out of town traveling, and but wherever I went for meeting or whatever it was, the violin was always with me.
always with you.
In a hotel room, after you come back dinner, I would practice in that hotel room all by myself for hour and a half before I go to bed.
Yes.
But that has been maintained. I have been maintained.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Arunji, for this beautiful recital. And now if anybody has any questions, then we will take the questions. And there is already somebody who has asked me about, what was that question? Oh yes, about the SSYF and the Shatabdi. I will speak of that. But before that, if we have any questions regarding Nada Yoga or any doubts, let us first answer that, and then we will go into these.
Actually, Swamiji,
Yes.
Sometimes listening to the music, the tears will come automatically. And whenever I hear Devi's songs, Devi's music, tears will come. It is not because of anything. It's the emotion going around. And sometimes you show it in terms of sense organs.
Yes. Yeah. It is very powerful. And what you are speaking and what music very easily takes us into is bhakti. Bhakti is not emotion. Yes, emotion is expressed, but bhakti is a state of mind. In the same way as yoga, as pratyahar, as dharana is a state of mind. In the same way, bhakti is a state of mind. And in bhakti, you are able to, without effort, transcend the limitations of the body, of the mind, and go beyond. And the ability comes up. We speak of Mirabai. Mirabai, she had everything, but she kicked everything away. She had Mere to Girdhar Gopal, Dujo na koi. And she became one with him. It was not an intellectual activity for her, it was a reality. As real as I am sitting over here, or as real as I am, in this time, space, and matter, the same truth was for her. And the if you have to drink poison, we will die, sure and certain. But for her, that poison turned into nectar. And there are innumerable examples over generations that this happens. Music has the ability to take us to that level where we are able to change that, the nature of that object. We speak of Mahadev, Neelakantha Mahadev. There is that story that there was the Samudra Manthan, and from the Samudra Manthan came Halahal.
Mhm.
And it was Shiva who
Right.
drank. As participants of yoga, just think a little bit. What does Samudra Manthan mean? Our body is 80% water. That is the Samudra, full, the sea of unconsciousness. And in this sea of unconsciousness, we had the Meru Mandar, which came in, and it was supported below by Kurmavatar. दासबोध में रामदास जी ने कहा है, केल्याने होत आहे रे आधी केलेची पाहिजे, परंतु तेथे भगवंताचे अधिष्ठान पाहिजे. When you do, things will happen, but you need to have the divine intervention over there. You need to place divinity over there. That is what was done, Kurmavatar. And then the unconscious started coming up. And when unconscious starts coming up, first which came were not the 14 Ratnas. What came first was Visha, Halahal, and nobody could drink it. Who had the guts and the strength to do it? It was Mahadev. And what did he do? He drank that. And when he drank that, we had Devi who came and caught him. Nice story. But as practitioners of yoga, if you try and understand, Devi is energy. Shiva is consciousness. So that consciousness absorbed the negativities. And Devi, she could have put her hands on his lips, in the mouth, in the heart, on the tummy. No, it was in, because this is the place of, which chakra is here? Vishuddhi Chakra. Vishuddhi Chakra. And that is the chakra of transformation. Poison gets converted into nectar. Where Vishuddhi is activated, poison gets converted into nectar. That was done by Shiva, who was a great yogi. But then the same thing happened by Mirabai, who was no yogi in that technical sense of word, but she was a bhakti yogin. That is the power of yoga. You can use Hatha Yoga, you can use Raja Yoga, you can use Kriya Yoga, you can use Kundalini Yoga, you can use 101 forms of yoga. Finally, it goes down to that common pathway, the chakra pathway, where all that starts happening. And one of the simplest, one of the most profound way to activate that is Nada, because that is the basis of entire creation. And that is the significance of Nada. All these things had come, and I mean, all these things were there in for centuries. They were there, but in time, the scientific approach had gone underground. It was no longer obvious. And science as we know it today, 300, 400 years ago, started off. And Galileo very, very clearly said that he is not looking into the unmanifest aspect, the intangible aspect. I'm only looking at what is visible and which is measurable. And he started from there. He did not say that others does not exist, but he started from there. And what came up over a period of searching was so overwhelming that everybody thought that is all and nothing else. We put blinkers on. And then come the 20th century, those blinkers were taken off. When we came into the discovery of the atom, at that time, oh, suddenly things started changing. Newtonian mechanics was no longer good enough. Einstein came with relativity and then quantum mechanics and everything. And physics underwent a change. Society, modern society, which is based on principles of science, and science is more or less based on principles of physics. They still followed the Newtonian model of science. Science had moved ahead into quantum. We were still into Newtonian. And this shift has sometimes happened in the society also. That is what is happening now. And when this shift has to happen, that happen also in this field of yoga, in the field of spirituality. For years and for generations, people of the elder generation would know. Their parents would say, "Iska matlab mujhe malum nahi hai, lekin tum sochne ki zarurat nahi, वैसे करो. Do that, don't ask." And when we did it, we found the impact. 30 years later, but we found the impact. But today's generation is not ready to listen to that. For them, we need to find a different methodology. And that is what Gurudev Swami Satyanand Ji did. In 1963, Swamiji was asked, not 1963, 1956, Swamiji was asked by his Guru, go and teach yoga from door to door and shore to shore. And Swami Satyananda said to his Guru Swami Shivanandaji, but Gurudev, I am a sannyasi. I have never learned yoga. I have been here in the ashram. I have practiced whatever. And the subject of sannyasins is Vedanta. Swami Shivanandaji smiled and said, Beta, when you are doing your karma yoga and doing printing press and you are doing proofreading, you are reading all my lectures and you are proofreading them. My lectures are full of yoga. My lectures are full of spiritual topics. You don't worry even if you think that you don't know. Go ahead, start teaching, and that knowledge will spring forth from within. And this Swami Satyananda, at the age of 5 or 6, he used to have spontaneous spiritual experiences, and it continued. At one point, he could not go beyond that, and that is why he had to go in search of a guru. And you know what Swami Shivanandaji told when Swami Satyananda met him? He said, work hard and you will be purified. You do not have to bring the light to you. The light will unfold from within. Swami Shivananda did not tell. Swami Satyananda was a master in yoga, meditation, because it was happening to him spontaneously. But Swami Shivananda did not say that sit down in meditation, do this, do that, do that. No, he said, work hard. And Swami Satyananda used to work 18 to 20 hours. Anyway, that's a story for a different time. But Swamiji worked hard. Did work of 4, 5, 6 people in one shot. And then after 12 years, his guru gave him the mandate, go and teach yoga. A subject which was not his subject per se. But Swamiji took him aside to his kutia and gave him Shaktipat. And he said, Jao, siklana shuru karo, siklate siklate aa jayega. And Swami Satyananda went out and said, if my guru has asked me to teach yoga, let me understand why. He went into the masses, traveled for 8 years, tried to understand, and he found that the root of all the problems then and now is a fickle mind, untrained mind. That is the root cause of all problems. And he said, there's nothing better than yoga to manage the mind, to train the mind. Vedanta can come only after the mind has been managed. So before Vedanta, we need to have the strength of the mind. 5,000 years ago, 7,000 years ago, in the time of Mahabharata, you look at the people who were there. All were geniuses and giants. Some were positive, some were negative, but everybody was a genius. How? Because they had invoked and they had integrated the strength of yoga in their lives. It was a way of life all along. But we lost that. And then Swamiji realized that this is the time when we need to integrate it with modern science. And therefore, Swamiji started studying yoga and expressing yoga and teaching yoga in relation with modern science, modern scientific systematic approach, presenting the ancient, timeless science in a modern manner. That is what Swamiji did. And one of the practices which Swamiji revived was Nadi Yoga. He gave many other tools, but Nadi Yoga was one of them, because Swamiji said that this is something which can be very powerful. Nadi Yoga at some point also goes into chakra sadhana. Both unite at a point. Maybe if we have more sessions, we can have that. But that is what Swamiji taught. And Swamiji's Guru Bhai, Swami Nath Brahmanand, I had spoken about this once. He was an expert musician and he had been able to activate that Nada, the power of Nada within. And there was that experiment where he was put in a closed chamber, no oxygen. And he was there for half an hour playing his tabla. The electrodes were giving out some sound. There was no oxygen. Physiology was going on. How? Because he was able to connect to a higher circuit. I had mentioned we have got an electrical circuit and we have got a nuclear energy circuit. Both come from the atom. If we harness the electron, we get electricity. And if we harness the nucleus, then we get nuclear energy. The atom is the same. We are the same. By default, our electrical energy works, which is a low energy with which we work in all our days. But when we want to become a genius from an ordinary person, then we need to start harnessing that higher energy. The nuclear energy is the Kundalini Shakti. Kundalini Shakti does not just mean that you are getting that highest experience and all those things. Kundalini energy means awakening that genius within us. You have Ramakrishna Paramhamsa, you have Swami Vivekananda, you have Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, you have Kalidas, you have very recently we had Lata Mangeshkar. You have so many people. These people are people where the Kundalini Shakti has awakened and it is expressing itself as per the karmic level of the person and the inclination of that person. Yoga is a way by which you can activate those higher circuits. And Nada Yoga in its highest form is nothing else but Kundalini Yoga. Because through Nada Yoga, you are playing this instrument which has got energy vortices, chakras, and you are able to activate them. And once you are able to activate them, you are able to purify them, then it works. If you have got the, you have the flood waters which are there, and if these flood waters are not channelized properly, if there are blockages, it is going to tear it away. But if they are channelized properly, that flood water can be made use of either into electricity or into irrigation or into so many different manners. How can we use that energy and make it proper? We have been speaking of the Trigunatmika form of energy when we were doing the mantra chanting. Kali, Lakshmi, Saraswati. Just imagine what Kali is. When the Kundalini Shakti awakens, it is terrible. It is raw energy. And that raw energy is not easy to handle. But when you start giving it a good shape and giving it a direction, then she becomes Lakshmi. She becomes beautiful. She becomes something which she can change everything. And then when you take it higher, she becomes Saraswati, the transcendental knowledge. So it is that energy which takes us up, and it is that energy which we are able to harness through Nada Yoga. That is the culmination of Nada Yoga. And we have just taken the first few steps. Those who have been fortunate enough to practice music in different forms will find it much easier. But sure and certain, if we practice even 10-15 minutes a day, it is more than enough. You must be doing different practices. Just add a 10-minute module in that anywhere in the day and decide, I will do it once a week, or I will do it twice a week, or I will do it thrice a week, or I will do it daily. You decide that. And as you decide, try and stick to it for an extended period of time before trying to go more and more and more. If you try to go more and more and more, we will go high for maybe 1 week and then there is something which is known as Arambhashur. Why? Because that is where it makes an impact. The mind fluctuates, and when there's too much of energy, mind gets distracted. We have activated the energy, but we have still not created channels good enough to send that energy. Those channels are blocked. So what happens? That energy starts getting dissipated and you start getting activated in other areas. Energy drops, down. No, a little bit. Shanaihi, Shanaihi, Uparamed. In Gita, it is said, bit by bit, take yourself up. Same things stand true for spiritual life, for yogic aspirants also. So that is how we should understand Nada Yoga. That is how we should integrate Nada Yoga in our life. It is not just sufficient to do the asanas, to do pranayam, but after that, you need to bring your mind together. You are going into meditation, and that is where you can use Nada Yoga. Go deeper, and at the end of that, you do that. It takes not more than 10-15 minutes. Do it. As far as the question of Satyam Sumiran Yoga Research Foundation. Satyam Sumiran Yoga Research Foundation I created as a means to try and reach out to people. The teachings which I saw at my Guru Ashram. Swamiji, he taught yoga, he taught Hatha Yoga, he taught Raja Yoga, he taught different forms of yoga. And then in 1988, he said, actually it was in 1983, but then people requested him to stay on. Swami Niranjananandji requested him to stay on. That's why he stayed on in Munger for 5 years. And he said after 5 years that, look, my work over here is completed. I did not take sannyas for teaching yoga. My guru told me, Jao yog sikla. So I taught yoga. And before I started, I knew that this is not a job of one generation. So therefore, I invoked another soul who can take care of this beyond. And that was Swami Niranjananand, the next generation. You have taken it up. Now I move ahead. He traveled the entire country once again in Parivrajak with one thought. Oh Guru, you gave me a mandate. I have completed that and I have given it a good foundation. Now it will go ahead. What is the next Adesh for me? And at Nasik Trambakeshwar, the place of Mahamrityunjay Shiva, that is the time, that is the place where Swamiji did his Chaturmas sadhana. And it was in during Chaturmas sadhana that the further path was revealed to him. He was directed to go to Rikhia, which was, so to say, an unknown village, but it was very powerful. It had very powerful vibrations, and perhaps it was waiting to be tapped. Rikhya comes from the Sanskrit word. I see that Archana ji has joined us. She will be able to tell us. Rikhya comes from the word Rishayaha. Rishayaha is Rishi, and it's the plural form of Rishi. So Rikhya was a place that in sometime in the past, Rishis used to stay, and that energy was latent in that place. Externally, it was a barren land, but the energy was there. And that is where Swamiji was directed to go. And there he did Panchagni Sadhana, north, south, east, west, on 4 directions, 4 fires. And the 5th fire was the sun, from Makar Sankranti to Karka Sankranti, the hot 6 months of the year. Swamiji would sit. Temperatures would go to 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. They have even touched 100 degrees Celsius. Celsius, not Fahrenheit. The boiling point of water. No human physiology can manage to sit that way. But Swamiji did it for 9 long years. And Swamiji said, मैंने तो पंचाग्नि साधना शरीर छोड़ने के लिए की थी, बट शरीर छूटा ही नहीं. लगता है कि भगवान को कोई दूसरा विचार है. And that is what started happening. And कभी और समय में पूरा बात बतलाएंगे, but a transformation started happening over there. And then Swamiji said कि भगवान के मन में एक दूसरा प्लान है. Let it come forth. That is the place at Rikhia. Swamiji taught or practiced. He never taught, he practiced the form of living yoga. How do you reach out so that you can connect within? Yoga is the practice of connecting within. But how can you reach out so that you connect within? Take care of the poor, help the downtrodden, feed the hungry, and do that not as charity. Because when you do that as charity, you are bloating your ego, and your ego is a very bad conductor for any spiritual progress. No, don't do it as a charity. Do it as your sadhana. If it were your child, what is the intensity you would do with? Do it with the same intensity, but no expectations. Do it and leave it. Nishkam Seva. And when you do it with that bhav, then the layers of ignorance start going away. Karmakshay starts happening. Those channels which are blocked start opening on their own. And the energy flows. You do not have to make excessive efforts. That concept of living yoga is what Swamiji taught at Rikhia. And Rikhia became an amazing epicenter, a vibrant center for spiritual energy. Rikhia has become the ground of breakthrough. Many yoga practitioners, they used to say that they have been practicing yoga for so long, but they feel they have got stagnated. Something is missing. And when they came, they started practicing what, in the beginning, Swamiji, he said that Rikhia mein yog vog kuch nahi hai, keval seva karo. Years later, he explained that Swami Shivananda, he said that the minds of people has become very fickle. That Ashtanga Yoga of Raj Sutra of Patanjali is good, but our people now, they are very fickle. उनके लिए बहुत heavy dose हो जाता है. What can we do? And that's why Swami Shivananda gave a different eightfold path. The first was serve, love, give, purify, meditate, realize. And having realized, be good, do good. Be kind, be compassionate. By reaching out in a selfless manner, you start purifying yourself. Then meditation happens automatically. After meditation, realization takes place. And after realization, don't stay there. अपनी गुफा में मत रहो. Come out. Be good, do good, help in the same manner as you would help your child. In Navratri, we do Kanya Puja. That is how actually all these things started. One day in ashram, we had, this is very, very early times. The present Pithadishwari, Swami Satyasangananji, she was there, and she was taking care of the ashram, opened the door. This is way back in 89-90. She opened the doors for some work, and there were 3-4 small girls who were standing over there. And very meekly, they said, we want to learn. Now, Swami Satsangi, Swami Satyasangananji was a person who was with modern education, very capable lady. And she was taking care of all the activities in Rikia. 30-40 years ago, in a backward area of the rural India, women thought, hey, at that time, the situation was such that women, all of you who are products of the modern society might not even have, a concept of that, but I have seen that happen. लड़की का एक ही काम होता है, 2 ही काम होता है, बच्चा पैदा करना, चूल्हा चौकट का ख्याल करना. तीसरा काम होता ही नहीं है. They did not even think there is something which is available. And there they see this lady, single-handedly she is doing all these activities. 400 लेबर खटाती है, सब काम कराती है. जब गवर्नर आते हैं, जब IPS ऑफिसर, IS ऑफिसर आती है, वो अपने से मिलती है सबसे. People started thinking, women started thinking, children started thinking, how does she do all of that? We can't do that. We are women. She's a woman. I am a woman. I can't do that. They came to a thought, a concept that, look, she speaks English. We can't speak English. That is the reason why. That is the reason why she's able to do all of this. That's why I need to learn English. And that is why these girls, they had come. हमको अंग्रेजी सीखना है, योग नहीं सीखना है, संस्कृत नहीं सीखना है, व्याकरण नहीं सीखना है, अध्यात्म नहीं सीखना है, वेद वेदांत उपनिषद नहीं सीखना है. उनको उसमें कोई मतलब नहीं था. उनको मतलब था अंग्रेजी सीखना है. और अंग्रेजी क्यों सीखना है? आपकी तरह बनना है. So Swami Satsangi ji, she went and she told Guruji. Swamiji smiled and said, देखो सत्संगी, he used to call her a सत्संगी. देवी तुम्हारे द्वार पर कन्या के रूप में आई है और भिक्षा मांग रही है, भिक्षा दो. And that is how spoken English started. Not English as ABCD, but spoken English. Because Swamiji said that is the need of the times. And that is the way these girls will be able to come out of the shell they are in. Swamiji started a revolution. But it was a silent revolution. Today, Swamiji called them as the Kanyas. And we know what Kanyas are. Kanya Puja is the highest form of tantric worship. Swamiji invoked that Devi in these girls. And he said, तुम लोग तो केवल धूपम समर्पयामि, दीपम समर्पयामि, नैवेद्यम समर्पयामि बोल करके पूजा करते हो. अरे ये छोटी देवी जो तुम्हारे सामने में बैठी है, उसको वो धूप दीप नैवेद्य से क्या मिलने वाला है? उसके बदले बोलो, स्कूल बुक्सम समर्पयामि, स्कूल ड्रेसम समर्पयामि, मेडिसिनम समर्पयामि, गेम्सम समर्पयामि. वो सब चीज से इस छोटी देवी के जीवन में परिवर्तन होगा, उसके जीवन का उद्धार होगा, और जब वो होगा तब वो जगत जननी तुमको आशीर्वाद देगी। क्योंकि जो हम धूपम दीपम नैवेद्यम करते हैं वो तो केवल एक माध्यम है हमारी श्रद्धा को वहां पहुंचाने का और उस आशीर्वाद को यहाँ लाने का। That is a means, that is not an end. Instead of just doing symbolic, do it a practical worship. And that practical worship Swamiji started at Rikhya. And there you can see today the children, the same village girls, the children of laborers, the children of thelawalas, of rickshawalas, of majur, they conduct the programs. 10,000 का क्राउड को वो लोग संबोधन करते हैं, पूजा करते हैं, सब चीज करते हैं। And what is their age? Between 7 and 14. By the time they are 14, they are graduated, और उनको graduates बोल देते हैं। There was a massive change, not only in the children, not only in the spiritual dimensions, but in the society. And 2023 is the centenary year of birth of Swami Satyananda. And Swami Satyananda, he came as a powerful spiritual force, making a shift. And I have decided that 2023 should be a year of dedication to Swamiji. And how did we do the practical worship? We conducted medical camps. We conducted educational activities with samskaras, because Swamiji, he taught them English, but along with that, he also gave them samskaras without them really knowing it. Chupchap, niche se, hidden, camouflaged. And he gave them livelihood, training in livelihood. Next, he created a system of yoga ecology, wherein the ecology is balanced. And in the आरती, many of us might know, जो हम भगवान जी को आरती करते हैं, आरती में एक पंक्ति आती है, तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या लागे मेरा। I offer to you what you have given to me. And what can a disciple give to his guru? What can a bhakta give to his God? We can't give anything, because everything they have given. But what we can do is we can try and imbibe that within us and make that as an offering to him. And that is what I decided will be the offering. What transformation Swamiji started at Rikhya, let us in our own minuscule, microscopic manner try and implement in different places and try and make that shift. So that is what is the aim of Satyam Sumiran Yoga Research Foundation. And Satyam, the activities are twofold. One is for the villagers and one is for the urban people. Villagers are more in tune with nature, but they need a support so that they come up in material life without forgetting the spiritual roots of their lives. They are happy not because they have money, but they are happy because they are in tune with nature and they have got the samskaras. In the cities, we are unhappy because we have lost the samskaras. So the Satyam Atma Samvardhan takes care of this aspect for the urban people, and Satyam Gram Samvardhan takes care of that aspect for the villagers. And as a part of that, I have decided to start an activity and have 108 activities, hopefully with blessings in the centenary year itself. But otherwise, the sankalpa is to start these activities, and not that we do 100 small activities in one go and finish. No, you take it up at one place. I have already identified 4 or 5 different places where people do need this. Start it over there, and over a period of time, over 1 year, continue activities over there and make a change in these people's life. There are poor people, there are backward people, even in cities. There are destitute people who need help. Let us reach out to them and make that life blessed, not charity. Because Swamiji said charity is the mother of poverty. And any society, section of society where you keep giving charity, you are making that society weak. No, we need to empower them. And that is what we are started. In December 2021, we conducted one medical camp. And it was a yogic medical camp retreat. For yoga students, it was an opportunity where they can practice yogic principles and also the principles of karma yoga. For poor patients, it was getting medicines. For children, it was an opportunity to learn. And that was my prototype. In April, on the occasion of Ram Navami, the culmination of Chaitra Navratri, I will be conducting another medical camp. There will be multiple activities which will be taking place. So that is in short what Satyam Sumiran Yoga Research Foundation is, what Satyam Shatabdi Yog Yag is about, and it is as a part of those activities that these yoga trainings, Nar Yoga, Mantra Yoga, Tattva Shuddhi, etc., are being taught. So that is what is the concept, that is what is the idea. So that is how I plan to go ahead, and I will be keeping you posted about that also. If we have any doubts or anything which we want to, we still have 5-10 minutes. Otherwise, then we can complete.
Swamiji, is there a website of your ashram?
About Satyam Sumiran Yoga Research Foundation, there is a website, satyamsumiran.org.
Satyamsundaram.org, okay.
Yeah.
Swamiji, this is Sunil. So is there any way we can assist in your camp or something that we can do from here remotely?
निश्चित रूप से सी रिखिया में जब हम लोग करते थे, people would come and people would offer their seva, and that became a means for their spiritual progress. So in the same manner, you can offer your, like, we have I have one lady, she is doing PhD in physics. At the age of 50 or so, she has started doing PhD because of love of science. And she has created a module, Science Can Be Fun. And so she's going to teach that. So that way, if you have some expertise, you can join in. Or if you have, because now with this technology, many things are becoming online. You can join in from there. There are so many back-end activities which can be done. Or if you wish to, you can sponsor some activity, like we have the medical camp coming up. You can sponsor that. You can, I will be conducting, I'm planning to conduct 108 yajnas, because yajna is the basis. In yajna, you invoke the divine energy and you distribute it out. No yajna is complete without dan. दान नहीं करेंगे तो यज्ञ पूरा नहीं होता है. It is not a social concept alone. It is a spiritual concept, because yajna is a process by which through fire you invoke that pranic energy, that higher energy, and that energy needs to be distributed into society if the society has to come up. So we are conducting 108 yajnas. It is not going to be an elaborate yajna. It is going to be a spiritual yajna where the energy is going to. So the fire ceremony is going to be a small part, but the dan is going to be a big part. We are going to have Vidya Dan. We are going to have Arogya Dan. We are going to have Shiksha Dan. So you can join in any of these activities. So whichever way, if you want to sponsor a small activity, you want to undertake a bigger activity, you want to offer your expertise, all forms are welcome.
How will you be communicating with us, or how can we participate in that or know about your activities?
As I mentioned, I have got a website, satyamsumiran.org. And
Okay, great.
address is satyamsumiran@gmail.com. So you can contact through that. And I have created a small group called Satyam Seva, Satyam Shatabdi Seva Sena. So you can also, if you are interested, are you in the Nadanusandhan group?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So if you wish, whoever wishes, they can join this. I will put in the link for this group where we are, we are discussing how we can do it in an efficient manner. So you can join in any of these activities, and we can discuss, because you see, this is an opportunity for us to grow spiritually also.
Where are you located geographically in India?
At the moment, I am based in Badlapur, outskirts of Mumbai.
And the yagnas and all will be conducted where?
I am planning, there are 4 or 5 locations which I have thought of. Badlapur will be one place. Then on outskirts or near Kasara, there is another place. It's a village, which is an Adivasi village. So there's another place, it's called Shirod. Then in Pune, very interestingly, I came in contact with, in these yoga classes, we had a person, there is a group who takes case. There is a group, one second, somebody has sent a message. So in Pune, there are people during lockdown, they were helping the blind and disabled. They were giving rations for 1.5 years or so. They contacted me, because there are blind people, how can I help them? Is there some way how we can help? I said that yes, certainly. So we are looking at empowering them, giving them some skills by which, you see, because we can't keep giving them grocery the whole life. COVID was a different story. So now we are looking at means how we can empower them. And if they are blind people, general public is one thing, but blind people, disabled people, there is a different scope which has to be looked into. So that is another activity. So Pune is another place. In Panvel, I had a couple of doctor friends who are already doing some care activity. So there are about 5, 6, 7 places which are already, which I have scouted out, and I'm looking for about 12 to 15 places where we can, over this year we continue activities like teaching or livelihood or health and wellness. Nutrition is a very big aspect. So over 1 year, I would like to make a difference. Because एक करके कोई फायदा नहीं है. We need to keep doing it over a year. Then we can make a change in these people. So I have I identified about 5, 6 locations, and I'm now in process of identifying more, so that obviously I don't want it to be spread too far away, otherwise I will not be able to physically take care of that, and then there's no point in doing anything haphazard. So in a small area, planning to do it that way.
Well, that works. I'm from Mumbai, so that should be fine. Yeah.
Oh, very good, very good. So that is nice. That is nice. Where in Mumbai are you located?
Borivali.
Oh, beautiful. There is one school in Borivali. I think it is near Exar Road or Exar Naka, which is there for poor people. I am also actually talking to them. Still, not decided with them, because it is for all those people who are children of the workers that school is run. So I am looking over there also. Very nice.
Thank you.
Swamiji, from United States, if you give us some of these sponsorships, we might be able to come up with something. So if you can keep us informed,
Yes,
maybe
certainly. Certainly. We'll do that way.
you can sponsor in a group or whatever,
Sure,
whichever way
sure.
it is.
We will need to be careful about the legalities of the issue. Funding coming from overseas has got separate rules.
Narayan Swamiji.
Namo Narayan Karjani. As of now, Satyam Sumiran does not. I have applied for FCRA. I have still not yet got FCRA. We'll need to look into that. But yes, that is something which will be very helpful, and we can look into that also. There is one question which I have in mind. Do we have people over here who know how to chant the either Lalita Sahasranam or the Durga Saptashati?
I can chant Vishnu Sahasranam.
Okay, okay. Because you see, as a part of the yagya activity, the yagya is going to be a Navachandi yagya, because Swamiji had started the Shatachandi yagya at Rikya. So I am doing one step lower, Navachandi yagya. And so if we can have a group of people who can chant, they might be anywhere in the world. If they know how to chant Durga Saptashati, then I would like to, because the power of mantra is very tremendous. We have been studying about Nad Yoga, and we can actually expand the effect not only for those poor people, but for all the people, because the world is also undergoing difficult times. Similarly, as a part of the yajna, there is going to be Lalita Sahasranam Archana, offering something. Both these, oh wonderful. So you have great. So I am thinking of trying to make a group where we can, whenever we are having this yagya, we can also chant it from that place, because when we chant it from different place, the energy which is being generated over there, we are actually connecting to that energy, and the blessings come to us. So I think I got a message from someone that they can chant both. And what we could do is we can actually organize something, if people are interested, that we can, we can learn this chanting, and then we have been speaking of, in the mantra booster sessions, we are creating an energy. So we can take this at a second level and intensify that. And also what I'm planning is to start a Swadhyaya session, because now it is also essential to understand what we are doing. So I am planning at some point to start Swadhyaya, and I have decided I will start with Raja Yoga Sutras, one shloka of Raja Yoga Sutra every day, to understand, to read it out, to understand about it. So it's about 200. So within 1 year, we can finish Raja Yoga Sutras, and then we can take it further, because it is essential that we know what we are doing, why we are doing. So, these are the various activities wherein we can have a better world. When we came to the world, we inherited something. And before we depart from this world, we need to give something better to the next generation. That is our responsibility to humankind. And as people of yogic lineage, let us say, it is our responsibility that we bring to knowledge to the people the concept what yoga is all about, what transformation is all about, what living yoga is. Practicing yoga, one thing, but what is living yoga? How can we live yoga? the principles of yoga, the integration of that philosophy in our life, so that a day might come that we might become Yogeshwar, or we can't become Yogeshwar. There's only one Yogeshwar, but we can really become a true yogi. So that is what will be there. And there will be lots of activities which I plan to do, and we will keep discussing. Now it's getting to 7:55. So, oh, another thing. Today at 4 o'clock India time, I am having a meeting of people to discuss the activities of the upcoming medical camp and the Satyam Shatabdi Yog Yag. So I will put it in the group. Whoever is interested can join in, and then we can take it further from there. And if like Shilaji, last time you could not join in because those timings were not suitable. We can discuss and we can see how we can work through the different time zones, because that is going to be a challenge. So we'll have to look at that also, that we will either we have a recording and that is played, or we have a separate meeting, something of that sort. We can work it out. Yeah.
Swamiji, one question.
Yes.
Are the Raja Yoga Sutras are the same as the Patanjali Yoga Sutras?
Yes, they are the same.
Because from Bihar school, I have taken the full explanation.
Very good.
From Kaustubh has taught us, actually.
Yeah. Yes, he has also done that.
Yes. So that we have done.
So, shall we conclude? Let us conclude. It's 7:56, and we have to go for the mantra session also. And technically, the Nad Yog session is over. But if you have any doubts or any difficulties, I am always available. So, kabhi kuch puchna hai, you can always reach out to me. You have my number. We are in the group. You can always reach out to me. And we will be conducting different activities also to take ourselves deeper. Please sit in any comfortable posture. To conclude, we shall chant the mantra Om. Come in meditative posture, hands on your knees in Jnana or Chin Mudra, the head, neck, shoulders, back in a straight line, eyes and mouth gently closed. Become aware of the whole body from the top of your head to your toes. Shift your awareness to your breath. Shift your awareness to your eyebrow center, Bhru Madhya. And at the Bhru Madhya, recollect, bring back the same image which you had chosen in the beginning of the practice. And maintaining awareness of that experience, let us chant the mantra Om 3 times together, taking in a deep breath. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Tat Sat. Rubbing the palms together. Place him on the closed eyes. Experience the warmth. And then, when comfortable, move the palms away. Open your eyes. Namo Narayan. Hari Om. And let us meet for the mantra chanting in that group. Namo Narayan.